Hello everyone, this is Diane. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. I truly appreciate it. Today I'm going to show you these 3 Swan journals that I have completed. They are one signature, and I didn't count the pages, but there's quite a few pages in there. And I just realized I wanted to replace some paper clips, so I'll get some paper clips out. I'm going to iron some white sari silk to tie around those, and I have these leftover pieces. This is all I have left over, just some cut off Swan pages and these from the digitals and this vintage image. So I'm going to divide these up between the journals, and let's go inside and see what they look like. I kept the covers very simple. I used one of the Mrs. Coggs images, and I made this little label and stamped Beautiful Story on this one. So this one is titled Beautiful Story. Look at the beautiful image there. 2 ladies and the swans. This is a flocked fabric, a vintage fabric. I find that when I use cardstock to make the covers, they tend to split at the top and bottom, especially as I'm working on sewing them in, so I reinforce with fabric. So this has the stenciling that we did on a video, and then I showed this on a video. These are stamped and embossed. And then the pink envelope, I added this that came out of a magazine, an ad for fountain pens. And inside is a repair tag. I just glued a butterfly to it. You can write your name on that if you want to. The digital kit that I used, besides Mrs. Coggs' Majestic Swans, I used a Swan digital journal kit from Charm Studio. This is a stamped piece that I added at the top for decoration. And I had 3 of these pages. I don't remember where I got them. Might have been a Happy Meal. And I thought they were really cool. So each journal got one of those. And then this embossed stationery. I added this really beautiful trim that I got at a flea market. I just thought it was perfect for this journal. This is from a vintage book, and it has some baby swans riding on her back. I just put this ephemera piece in there. You can use it as a journaling card or glue it somewhere in the book if you want another pocket. There's a Mrs. Coggs image. A paper doily placemat. I paper clipped a couple of tags to the top of this page. You can move them where you like. I just wanted to put nicer looking paper clips on here. So I just have a copper one. And I put some pretty lace on the edge of that paper. And I sprayed the other blank pages and stamped. And this is from the other digital that I used, and I can't remember. I linked it in the other video. Isn't that pretty though? And it did have some swan images, that's why I used it. And I just left that nice and white. This is vintage gift wrap, and so is this. Now I had a couple of vintage cards. I had 3 vintage cards, and this is a tiny one. This actually, I don't know if it will pull out. I wouldn't do it, but there's slits here. And I just, because this one is little, I paper clipped it on. The other ones got sewn into the journals. This is just some tracing paper. A Mrs. Coggs image pocket, and I added this soft netting ruffle. That's a digital from, I think it's from TLC Creates Vintage. And I added antique postcard. I had two Swan postcards, so I just picked another one that the colors matched to put into this pocket. There's the other sprayed page, and I used my Swan stamp there. This is from a book about mythology. This person is riding a swan, you'll see on the other side. And I just collaged some papers on the back side. And this is a vintage shelf liner. It had lily pads, and I thought that would be perfect. That's the other side of that mythology book. There are the swans. She's not actually riding a swan. She's, it's Apollo. They're pulling his chariot. This came with that other digital that I can't remember where it came from. Pretty envelope. And a Mrs. Coggs image in there. There's swans there. Oops. Here's where I added this piece that I made a long time ago because the colors were perfect. Oops, upside down. And I just put a couple pieces in there, a plain card and a scrap of scrapbook paper. I know you don't want to watch me fuss with that. I put the paper clip over the strap part so that the paper clip doesn't get caught on the stitching there. And I added a organza ruffle there. This is something we did on a video, and I put 2 pieces of stationery in there. I wanted to include this paper in the journal, but I had more than enough pages already, so I just put a plain one and a bordered one inside the bag. It does have a vintage embellishment here. I'm going to put some paper on the back of that. This came out of a vintage book. And I just made a little embellishment, punched out a blue circle and added some sheer flocked fabric there with the digital piece from Swan Studio. And I love this pleated lace. I added a strip of gingham ribbon down the edge there. Some of the Charm Studio digital pages are dark, kind of look gloomy. So I tried to brighten them up. I put a little pink rosette trim up there and then added this bright blue pocket, and this is from that extra digital kit, and so is this. And I added a strip of the gift wrap there. And on the back is this fabric pocket. Someone had sent me in a Happy Mail several of these pieces of fabric that it almost feels starched. and it was cut in a kind of a, well, it was a square, and then the corners were sawed off like we do for a tag. So I did have to cut it down a bit to make it into a pocket. And I put the same in all of the journals. This one has several pieces inside. And this one is Beautiful Story. This one is called Priceless. This one has some spray on it. This is a vintage gift sticker to decorate your package. I think it is so pretty. It's the only one I had. And I added the one piece of Swan embroidered piece that I had. I just got it recently. And it's red, so it doesn't really match the color scheme, but I had to use it. I just put a little daisy piece up there. Again, we have this piece that you can use as a journal card or glue it on as a pocket. I cut these swans out of a book. There's a vintage greeting card with water lilies, and there's a swan on the other side. Here's the vintage postcard. Lake in City Park, Norfolk, Virginia. And this pocket is part of the Charm Studio kit. I made a mistake on this page. I had sprayed it and then stamped it like I did the other of these pages, but I did it upside down. The stamping was upside down. So I just covered it with a pretty Amity Bloom paper. This is from a calendar, and it was very glossy on the back side too, so I glued things on it. This is from that extra digital set. And this is a digital. I don't remember where it came from, but I cut it in half, and so the other half is on the other side. And that's a cutoff from this, I believe, or from a different Amity Bloom page. This came from a book. This is an Amity Bloom page. And this avocado dyed, this is digital. And that's from Tailor Made Journals. This is the other side of that calendar. And this is a printable. I don't remember where it came from. And here's the swan on the greeting card. It was used. It's got old tape where it was taped into a scrapbook. It's just the residue of the tape. This is a piece that I made a long time ago. And I included some fun elements. So all of the journals are different. They have different ephemera, different pockets. I just didn't have 3 of many of the things, so I had to, you know, come up with something else. This one I'm going to glue something to the back. This came out of I think it was a 1930s magazine. Glued a little scrap of gift wrap and a butterfly embellishment there. This could be a little tuck if you wanted it to be. This was sent to me by Celeste. And that little folder I showed you, one of the folders I showed you, yeah, this one, that was from her too, and this. Thank you, Celeste. I'm pretty sure it was Celeste. Her Etsy shop is woodland inspired, and I think she sells some die cuts. There's the other packet. This one is priceless. And the last one is called Spirited. They're in a little boat, these ladies, and they're feeding the swans. This is from an antique magazine. It says the Queen of the Water Lilies. And this is from a vintage magazine advertising Swan's Down cake mixes. Here's the other greeting card. So cute. It had a little mark up here, so I added this embellishment. And the vintage postcard, it's the same as in the second journal that I showed you. This is an Amity Bloom piece here. And I think these are Amity Bloom also. This is all one piece. I had this little piece of scrapbook paper, and I just folded a tiny little edge over, and then I had to build it out. This is from a children's nursery rhyme book. Swan, swan, this is a tongue twister. Swan, swan, over the sea, swim, swan, swim. Swan, swan, back again. Well, swam, swan. And I glued this piece to a pale green vellum, added this embroidered trim, and tucked in this little card. And this is just an extra digital page. I printed small. Has the stationery pages inside. This is an antique piece right here. And this is from a children's book. Oh, this just has a Mrs. Cox image inside. I just have to glue writing paper on the backs of a couple of those pieces and add my signature back here somewhere. And when you see this video, they'll be in my shop. I'm not going to schedule them for later. Just going to put them in my shop. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed these journals. And I'm not sure what's going to be next, but we will all find out, won't we? I'll see you in the next video. Have a creative day. My shop is linked below, and also the digitals that I used will be linked below. Thanks for watching. Bye.